They'll never admit it, not in daylight, not in words, not even to their closest friends over wine and confessions. But almost every woman has this fantasy, a hidden desire that has nothing to do with candlelight or compliments, and everything to do with being taken, not forcefully, not cruelly, but with unspoken certainty. It's the fantasy she keeps locked behind her eyes, the one that surfaces only when she feels safe enough to surrender to a man who doesn't beg, doesn't explain, doesn't ask for permission with every move. No one talks about it because it's taboo, it's raw, and it's real. This video is going to pull back the curtain. We're discovering the psychological and sexual roots of the #1 female fantasy that's been buried under decades of noise. You'll learn how to recognize it, how to trigger it without saying a word, and how to become the man who doesn't chase, but gets chased by her imagination. Most men will never know this, but you're not most men. Oh, and before we continue, I've got something special for you, a free ebook, the Female Mind Control Handbook. It reveals the hidden secrets to making any woman crave. You grab it now, link in the description or pinned comment. Let's begin one, the fantasy of being taken without a word. What she secretly craves but will never admit. There's a fantasy women carry deep inside. It's not the flowers, it's not the romantic candlelit dinner, it's not even the steamy scene from her favorite movie. It's darker, older, and far more primal. Most men will never trigger it. Why? Because they're too polite, too predictable, too busy following a script they didn't even write. But if you learn to unlock this dash, she'll look at you differently. She won't even know why, but her body will respond before her mind catches up. So what is this fantasy? Let's peel back the layers. She dreams of being taken completely, utterly, without hesitation, not in a cruel or forceful way. This isn't about violence, it's not about fear, it's about certainty. The fantasy lives in the moment when a man doesn't ask, he knows, he doesn't negotiate, he leads, he doesn't overthink. He acts that one instant where she's not in control, but she's never felt more safe, where he pulls her in, slowly but without doubt, where his energy says, "You're mine," and her body replies. Finally, let that sink in for a second. She doesn't want to make all the decisions. She doesn't want to explain what she needs. She doesn't want to teach you how to touch her soul. She wants to surrender, but only to a man who can handle it. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. She'll never say this out loud because she's been taught not to, because she's afraid it'll make her look weak, because the modern world tells her to be in charge, in control, empowered every second. But in the deepest part of her, where the fantasy lives, she wants to feel your control without you ever raising your voice. She wants to feel your presence before you even speak. She wants your hands to know where to go. She wants your energy to say, "I see through you," before you've even touched her. This is the fantasy most men never tap into because it requires something rare, silent dominance, the kind that doesn't flex, doesn't brag, doesn't beg. You want to trigger this fantasy, you don't need more muscles, you don't need cheesy lines, you don't need money or status. You need to understand polarity. The masculine leads, the feminine responds, not because she's lesser, but because it's nature. She's been leading all day at work, online, in social circles. She doesn't want to lead in your presence. She wants to melt, but you have to give her a reason to let me tell you a story. There was a man, a quiet one, didn't talk much, didn't smile often, but when he entered the room, women noticed, not because he was the loudest, but because he had that stillness, the kind that says I know who I am and I know what I want. One night, he's sitting across from a woman, a friend of a friend. She's used to attention, used to control, used to men leaning in, trying too hard. But he didn't chase. He watched, listened every time she spoke. He paused before answering, like he was weighing her words, tasting them. And when the moment was right, he leaned in and said one sentence. "You talk like you want to be interrupted." She froze, not because she was offended, but because in that moment, someone saw through the act. He didn't need to say anything else. She leaned closer. Her voice got softer, her body shifted. She didn't even notice her knees brushing his that night. She didn't want a date. She didn't want sweet words. She didn't want permission. She wanted to feel what she couldn't control, and she did. That's the fantasy to be undone by a man who knows exactly what he's doing. Now here's how you trigger it instantly without being creepy, without being fake. Eye contact that holds, not chases. Most men break eye contact too soon or stare too long, desperate to prove confidence. You hold it calm, unapologetic, like you've already seen her voice that slows down the room. Speak slower than you think. Use pauses. Silence is a weapon when used with intention. It draws her in. Let her fill the space. Her imagination will do more than your words ever could touch. That leads, then withdraws. A brush of your hand, then nothing. A moment of closeness, then distance. This is tension, and tension builds desire faster than any compliment presence that doesn't fidget. Stillness is magnetic. Most men can't sit still without checking their phone, adjusting their shirt, looking away. You're grounded, unmoved like a mountain. Words that cut past her persona. She'll come with a script, be playful, tease, test you. But when you say something that hits her core, she feels it, not some pickup line, a truth, something like you hide behind being in control. I wonder who you are when you're not that right there. That's gasoline. She may laugh, she may deny it, but she'll remember, because deep down, she's been waiting for a man who can pull the fantasy out of her without even naming it. And here's where it gets wild. Once you trigger this fantasy, she will chase you, not because she's desperate, but because she wants that feeling again, that moment where her body said yes before her brain even caught up. That's not something she gets every day. In fact, most women will go their entire lives without feeling it once. So when you're the man who gives her that, she won't forget you, she won't try to figure you out, she'll just feel drawn, haunted, hooked. And the best part, you don't have to change who you are, you just have to become more of it. Less talk, more presence, less seeking more, seeing less, proving more, knowing that's how you live in her fantasy without ever asking to be invited. Because deep down, every woman has that one scene in her head, the one she's never said out loud, the one she hides under humor, ambition, independence. And when you awaken it, she'll stop pretending, she'll stop performing, she'll melt into you like she's finally home, and she'll never even know why. Now you know you've just walked through a secret corridor inside the female mind, a place most men don't even know exists. And if you were paying attention, you didn't just hear her fantasy, you felt it. It's not about being louder. It's not about being prettier. It's not about being perfect. It's about presence, stillness, control without words, power without noise. Most men will go their whole lives chasing women with words. You're about to be the man. She follows silently because you touch something deeper than her skin. So if this opened your eyes, imagine what else you've never been told. The next step, join the members-only room where we go beyond the surface, uncensored psychology, darker truths and tools to trigger attraction so deep she won't know why she's obsessed. And as a gift, I'll send you a free ebook that breaks down the secret behaviors of high desire women and exactly how to awaken the fantasy she's never spoken out loud. Link below. But remember, this knowledge isn't for everyone. It's for the few who can handle it. And now you know why she couldn't stop thinking about you. Not anymore. See you inside.